Dead Peasant Radio.
We must have faith in each other.
Of informing and alerting.
Faith in our ability to govern ourselves.
Dead Peasant Radio.
It's now the most important task we face.
You are listening to Dead Peasant Radio.
Sometimes even anger. Public opinion.
What can we do? Face the truth.
All right, man. Dead Peasant Radio, episode 5. It's been a long time. We have been slacking on our pimping. But listen, I got something I want to specifically talk about this week. And the reason why is because it is a perfect example of corporate control and how the intelligent people that are seeing what's really going on are being kept out of the radio waves. So like FM radio has been talking about this Tom Brady incident. And I know it's really kind of against Dead Peasant Radio to talk about anything NFL or...
All right, you already got to slow down for me because I don't know who Tom Brady is.
Okay,
and
so...
I don't know what he did.
All right, so Tim Brady is a pitcher for the New England Patriots.
All right.
And I guess so. There's this whole thing going on that supposedly he deflated his footballs before the championships last year, and he.
Okay, I did hear about this.
Okay, and he refused to participate in their investigation, and by them or their, I mean a corporation, the NFL. Now,
all right.
Basically, what happened was supposedly he had footballs that were like 1 pound of air pressure under the legal limit, which I'm not defending the guy, but that's not why he won the Super Bowl. And anyways.
And what would that do for you?
You could supposedly just grip the ball a little better, but the thing is, well, I guess the rules clearly state that the other team can use the other team's balls, and the other team was bitching about it. So it's like, hey, if you really think it's that big of a deal, then just use their balls. But that's not what I want to talk about, because that's all sheep talk. That's what the NFL. That's what the NFL wants us to do. They want us to talk about Tom Brady, right? That's why they picked Tom Brady as the puppet, because he's the face of football, and they know that if they fuck with him, it's going to be all... It was on ABC News the other night, in between the earthquake and some other driven news. So it's getting airwave time where really important stuff should actually be being talked about, not Tom Brady deflating the football.
Yeah, but I mean, most of what's on the news is not important.
Yes. But here's why I want to talk about this. Because what the NFL tried to do was they hired an investigator, this guy Tom Wells, who works for the NFL. So let's point out that gigantic conflict of interest, right? Now, the NFL hires their own investigator to investigate Tom Brady. He doesn't really find any solid evidence, all just... take this on faith type stuff, which, apparently people of the... Yeah, and as you know, with modern religions and modern gurus and self-help fucking assholes, you can really get people nowadays to basically take shit on blind faith, right? It's one of the best Always Sunny in Philadelphia episodes ever written was on faith. Anyways... So what they said was, hey, Tom Brady, give us your phone. We want to go through your phone and see what text messages, phone calls, pictures, videos you were participating in the week of what we're investigating during that time frame. And Tom Brady pretty much was like, yeah, go fuck yourself. You're not going through my shit, right?
Right.
So in this report... The NFL basically says, hey, if Tom Brady would have given up his phone to his corporate slave master, none of this would be happening, right? And that was interesting to me because...
That is interesting.
It's kind of like they're saying, like that corporations should be allowed to have the same type of control over you and your belongings that the police or the federal government has. And that is very scary to me.
It does set up a dangerous precedent, right? Like if the NFL can demand to see Tom Brady's personal dick pics, then does that mean that the dude that's stocking shelves at Staples has to also show his phone to his boss?
And that's where I was just going, because the NFL is a big corporation, but there's corporations out there that fucking dwarf the NFL, that sell oil, that sell gas, that sell water, that sell corn chips, that sell shit that you buy every day, right? So what's to stop them from going, hey, you know what?
Well,
if the NFL can go through Tom Brady's phone, we got this guy, Joe Smith, who's been driving our trucks for 5 years. We think he buys hookers. We think he's on heroin. Even though he does his job perfectly, he shows up on time every day, we want to go through his phone. We want to find out what he's doing and what he's doing wrong, right?
Right.
Now, here's what's interesting.
Yeah, or even to get the job. What if it, I mean, you could extend it to, all right, well, you can't work for McDonald's here unless you let our hiring manager go through your phone.
And that's another thing, right? Where is it gonna begin? I know it's gonna end somewhere, someday, probably in buildings burning and lots of people dying. But where is this gonna begin that the sheep population accepts it? And I think that's what the Tom Brady thing is. It's really the corporate puppet masters going, let's take one of our faces who gets tons of media press, and let's see how far we can push him. Let's see if we can get his phone. Let's see what people of the country think about him not giving up his phone or giving up his phone. Let's see what Tom does, and let's see how people react. And from what I've noticed, because keep in mind, dude, that I'm a Stanley swinger, right? I build shit with my own two hands. I'm a real fucking man. I'm on jobs where I got to listen to FM radio. That's just how it is. People turn on the tunes and they just play and people talk. I haven't heard one person call up the local FM radio station and be like, hey, why the fuck does the NFL have the right to demand Tom Brady's freaking cell phone and go through it? And then these people, right, they're calling up and they're going, he should have just given up the phone. He could be starting week 1. Instead, he got suspended for 4 games, $1 million fine, and now the Patriots lose their 2 first-round draft picks, right? Ray Rice.
That's been the general consensus, you think, of
no,
the masses? Is that
well, if you were to base your opinion on the phone calls received by the radio stations from the general public, you would basically come to the consumption that people are more upset that Tom Brady didn't give up his cell phone because they want him to play, because it's more important that they win. See, that's another thing, right? If you ever invest any time, which very few people do, in basically improving your mindfulness, one of the first things you're going to learn is to give up on winning and losing, okay? That's why it's so important that the corporate structure is based around winning. It's based around promotions. It's based around championships, okay? That's what they want. They want you to
I got to point out the 800-pound gorilla in the podcast, though.
What's that?
I mean, you're saying that the general consensus of the public about this Tom Brady thing is that he should have bent over, spread his asshole, and shown his corporate masters the phone. Right?
Because it's more important.
You're basing that on FM radio listeners who, let's be honest, are probably the dumbest bunch of knuckle draggers on the planet.
And
then a special set of those knuckle draggers, the people that actually call in to FM sports radio, I mean, you got to assume those are the dumbest people on the planet, right?
No, and you're totally correct.
And I hope people are insulted by this.
No.
Because I mean it.
But here's what I have to say is it's funny to me that remember they pick their phone calls, right? They're not going to take a phone call from M.C.Capone, a dead peasant radio, wanting to fucking talk about why Tom Brady shouldn't give up his phone because it's a blatant invasion of privacy rights, right? So
I don't think they get that many. I think they got to put every single phone call on the air because nobody's calling because nobody's listening to FM radio anymore.
Well, that's what you would think, but I have to say that I disagree with you based on the fact that I listen to basically only podcasts. And like when I drive, I plug my phone in and
because you're a civilized human being.
I 3G YouTube videos and stuff. But even with that being said, I still find it impossible, damn near impossible, to find, I don't know, 1 out of every 20 people I meet that listens to podcasts.
That's sad.
It's very sad. It's convenience. It's a convenience issue, right? That's another reason why the NFL is so huge, because it's conveniently on at 8 o'clock at night or on Sunday morning when everyone has nothing to do, and it's based.
And it's on the signals that are automatically pumped into your house anyway. It's a passive form of media.
And it's a perfect platform to test what you can get away with. Let's keep in mind that corporations run the country, right? We have basically a corporate-run government, all right?
It's completely owned. Yeah, 100% owned.
It's a, what do they call it, an oligopoly now, right? I think that's what we are.
Yeah, an oligopoly.
Yeah, that's what we are. We're an oligopoly. We are a government based on corporate structure and growth. Just like cancer. Grow until there's nothing left. And
the infinite growth paradigm is what our entire economy and nation runs on.
And they're losing
100% unsustainable.
They're losing control, and they're on this violent ramp to regulate the internet, right? And if anybody out there is listening that is a business person that owns their own business or that does marketing knows that mobile internet is exploding, right? You can no longer just have a website. You need to make sure your website is also mobile friendly.
Oh, yeah, man. Any of the website building sites that you go on now automatically give you a mobile version of your website because otherwise it's useless.
And this whole Tom Brady thing, all you hear about is the phone. Should have given up the phone. Everything would be all right if he would have given up the phone, give up the phone. And what this is doing is it's getting all them really dumb people out there that are like, we just want the New England Patriots to win. Tom Brady should have given up his phone. And now they're all of a sudden, they're on the side of the corporation.
That when it came out that yes, the government is illegally tapping all of our phones, these are the same people that said, oh, well, if you got nothing to hide, you shouldn't care. Which is just the weakest type of mentality that you could possibly have. So when Tom Brady is, sticking to his guns and actually showing that he's got a set of balls and some principles, they're all actually going the opposite direction and saying, oh, man, what's the big problem? Just give him your phone. You're making so much money anyway,
Well,
it's ridiculous. It's a sad state of affairs if that's how most of the men in our country feel.
And another thing, too, is that his fine and his suspension is like, people have been fined way less and suspended for way less games for way worse shit, right?
Oh, yeah? Give me an example.
Give him a good example.
How about the guy who got caught beating the shit out of his girlfriend on camera in an elevator?
Yeah, Ray Rice.
Ray Rice didn't even miss a game or get fined. The NFL turned their back to that one.
That's not true. He got suspended for 2 games, I believe, and then supposedly people got in an outrage, so they came back and suspended him for 6 games, but the team cut him.
So how long is Jim Bradley suspended for?
Tom Brady is suspended for the first 4 games, $1 million fine, and the New England Patriots lose next year's first-round draft pick and I think a third-round draft pick.
And this is on the...
Man, he should have just beat the shit out of his wife in an elevator.
No kidding.
I know, right?
This is on the assumption he sent a text message to a ball boy during halftime saying to deflate the balls.
Which isn't...
But that could have been like a sext. Like, that could have been a metaphorical...
Could have been.
I'm going to deflate your balls, ball boy.
But here's the deal, right? I don't care if he cheated or not. I care about the fact that the NFL wanted his personal private phone to go fucking through. And they're suspending him because he wouldn't give up his phone. It's like, okay, well, what about the CEO of the NFL, right? I want your fucking phone. M.C.Capone at Dead Peasant Radio wants your phone, dude. I want to talk to your fucking hooker.
Good idea.
You know?
I think it should, yeah, if you consume a company's product, you should be able to see the personal texts and emails of the CEO.
I don't care if Tom Brady, the guy I expect to go out on the weekend and get hit in the fucking head and tackled by guys that would probably more or less be in prison without football, right? No, I want the guy who owns the corporation. I want to know that he's an honest person. I want to know that he's not a criminal before I support the NFL. I know. It's like John Jones Bones, dude, right? All right, you're going to suspend.
Oh, there you go.
You're going to go out and talk about this guy like he's a fucking criminal. You put him in a ring and expect him to basically virtually kill people. Without a ref, only one person would be leaving the fucking ring.
Yeah,
And
it's symbolic murder, what
Right?
they're doing. Yeah. And it's my favorite sport. I'll talk about John Jones all night. That's a really interesting case, man. Do you know what he did?
I heard it. He did. Look, I'm not. I think that he needs to be dealt with in a court of law, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not by the UFC. The UFC shouldn't be allowed to go out and just instantly, before he's even tried in court,
Yeah.
kick him out of the league, right?
Well, they stripped him of his title, and he's suspended indefinitely. And it's a tough situation.
And he hasn't even gone to court yet.
Because he's the champion, right? So he's looking at potentially going to prison for like 3 years. It's a felony hit and run charge because the woman broke her arm that upgraded it to a felony. So if you're the UFC, he's your top draw. He's 100% he's the best fighter on the planet, and he's the champion. He hasn't been beaten since he's held the title. He's got one of the longest championship runs ever. Right, so he's like well on his way to becoming the Muhammad Ali of MMA. But if he goes to prison while he's holding the title, what the fuck do you do with your division then? Your biggest draw division. So you can see where they had to strip him of the title, and they would sort of be in the right to do so. And the UFC isn't. It's not like the NFL in the sense that there's many owners in the NFL, isn't there?
Well, no. So the NFL, there's this guy, I don't know his freaking name. He's the basically the CEO of the NFL, and then there's teams. There's 16 teams, I believe, and they all have separate owners.
Yeah.
So so basically, it's like a condo association, right?
So like if a player violates one team's code of ethics thing that they all, I'm sure, have to sign as part of their contract and gets fired, he can go and work for another team, can he?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Who knows
But
the way they are nowadays?
The UFC is basically a monopoly. So if they suspend John Jones, that means he can't fight at all. And if you're going to do that to guys for a code of ethics violation, man, that's some dicey water. Because where do you draw the line? And like, why do you get to hold a fighter to this level of ethics that is hard to sustain for a lot of them, because they are who they are, right? They're guys that get into a cage and fight. So
And they have money.
Are really well-behaved businessmen. You look at Daniel Cormier or Kenny Florian or someone like that, and they're usually role model citizens. But you know, the best ones usually aren't.
Yeah.
You know? There's madmen out there like Tito Ortiz and like John Jones, and I don't know. I can see why he could strip the title, but you know, unless he's in prison, he should be able to fight. Unless he murders somebody or does something horrible, you know?
Yeah.
Which he very well could have done with this woman. It's a retard move what he did. And I think that the whole story hasn't been told yet, but I think I know what it is. Because he was busted for coke a few months ago, right? He tested positive.
Yeah.
And he was fined for that or suspended, but he wasn't going to fight in that time anyway. You know, that's the other ridiculous thing. The UFC will suspend a fighter for 9 months. Well, they usually fight once a year, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But I was saying, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying about John Jones.
I don't know. You were in the middle of going somewhere.
Fuck. I got lost there.
Brain fart.
But John Jones, you can't expect a guy like that to not misbehave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was, I was telling the story of what he did. So he was busted for coke, right? And then when this incident happened, he was in a rented car near where he lives. And you know the guy's got to own like 50 cars.
Yeah.
So that's weird to begin with. And he crashes the car, he gets out, runs away, goes back, grabs a brick of cash, and leaves behind his weed, and then runs away again. Right?
It was very strange behavior.
Well, I guarantee he was out smoking weed, looking to buy some coke in a rented car because you're John Jones, you don't drive your Bentley into the ghetto to buy coke.
That's probably true. I mean?
So he was out on his way to get some coke, stoned, paranoid, wrecked his car, and just fucked things up.
Yep.
And now he's screwed. He should have sat there and taken he's going to have to pay for that kid, the pregnant lady's kid's college anyway. Yep. He should have sat there, taken that financial hit, taken the rap on the weed, because fuck, he's John Jones. Of course he's smoking weed.
Yeah.
You know? And everything would have been hunky-dory. I'm sure Dana White would have wrote a check to a local judge and he'd have gotten off. But the way he did it, man, he's going to do prison time. You got to strip that guy of his title.
Yeah, you do. But I don't think it should be allowed to be done or decisions should be made until he's been seen in a court of law.
Yeah.
You know? Look, if you work for Coca-Cola and you deliver 12 packs and in your free time you go out and get in a fist fight and put some kid in the hospital for the night, when you go into work the next day, does Coca-Cola have the right to fire you for that? When you're a perfect employee?
Not now, but you're saying that they're trying to set up that paradigm within our culture.
Yes,
via these
exactly.
High-profile athletes.
They're trying to
very well to be right.
I mean, what it will do, right, is it's going to make the poor even poorer because knowledge is a gift that's given to you by parents and a intelligent surrounding, right? So if you're an idiot who's always fucking up and corporations can say, hey, last night, man, you got in a bar fight, you're out of here, you're done. Those aren't the type of people we want working for our corporation.
Uh-huh.
So now they're going to give that job to somebody that's wise, right? Probably uses their free time intelligently to better themselves, both body and mind. So they're going to get all the gigs. So now basically anybody that doesn't behave, that doesn't put on the red wool coat and walk around with the fucking fake white wool wig looking just like their great, powerful leaders isn't going to have a gig.
Right.
And that's wrong. That's what I'm saying. I think people are people. And what makes living great is the fact that wherever you go, you're going to be bumping into a freaking salad bowl of individuals. And they're trying to break out individualism. They're trying to throw it into the bonfire and burn it to the ground. They're trying to get everybody to walk to the same religion, to the same beat. And that is not going to be good for us. It's not going to...
This Tim Brangley guy, he stood up to it, man. He's like, fuck that.
Tom Brady was like...
I ain't going to give you my phone.
I play football, man. You can't have my phone. Fuck you. Whatever. And that's awesome.
We should all stop watching football anyway because it's just bread and circus mind control ceremonies from the get-off.
Man, speaking of mind control, have you heard that fucking song by Stephen Marley, Mind Control?
No, I haven't.
Mind control. Oh, dude, it's so freaking good. You gotta YouTube that. YouTube Stephen Marley, Mind Control. It's one of the best reggae songs ever made.
I could type a lot faster if I'd figured out how to tie this phone to my head.
Hey, but anyways, let's switch subjects. I just want to end it by saying that I'm very, very proud that someone with so much influence to the masses stood up and said, you ain't getting my fucking cell phone. You ain't going through it.
No, that's cool, man. I think that he should turn the tables on them, and he should say, look, NFL, if you want to be able to demand to look at our phones, then you should issue and pay for an extra company phone for every NFL player.
Yeah, that we'll never use.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. So what's new, man? How'd your art show go? You just had a show in New Hope, Pennsylvania, right?
I have a show. It's still up.
It's still going? Well,
yeah,
man, we got action in the studio right now. It's all right. We got a
What
rookie
happened?
in here. We got the pants master just opening doors, shutting
What is
doors.
she doing, a raccoon back there?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Babe, oh, come on. You're killing the flow here.
The show went well, man. It's at 10 Stockton Avenue in New Hope, Pennsylvania, in beautiful Bucks County. It's at a gallery called Sidetracks that is run by two fine gentlemen, Ricky and Paul. They've been huge supporters of my work since I moved into town 7 years ago. They were like the second people to buy my work, and they gave me a solo show. It went really well. It's up till May 31st, although I believe it's actually going to be extended into June, which is good.
Awesome.
So, yeah, man, the thing about it is like I was expecting, Sidetracks used to be at 2 Stockton Avenue, right, which was a tiny little gallery, like 10 foot by 12 foot, like real small. So I was kind of preparing for that. And then one day this winter, Ricky called me up and he said that they were moving. And I thought, okay, well, what does that mean? You know? And he said they were moving down to 10 Stockton Avenue. And that gallery is about 3 times as big. So I had a ton of more work to do. And it was balls cold here this winter, no heat in the garage, but I decided to put my big boy pants on and just do the work, and worked out.
Nice, man.
But it doesn't matter. Like, honestly, to be honest with you, between you and I, like, it doesn't matter to me how well the opening goes or what I sell or anything. What's important to me is how I feel about the next set of work that is spawned from this work. Because, the whole goal is just to keep making things and make them better and better.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm excited about what this work will now lead to. Like, I've already started work on the next set of stuff. So that's successful to me.
Nice.
I'll never be financially successful. I got to sell about $150,000 worth of sculpture before I even break even.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a great saying that this guy named Picasso, you ever hear him?
What was his first name? Peter Picasso?
I don't know what his I didn't know he had a first name.
I think it was Peter or something.
Who
Yeah,
cares
I've
about,
heard of him. Yeah.
He was out to eat and the waiter came up and was like, "Oh, I really like your work. Can you draw me something? Can you draw me something?" And he goes, "All right." So he takes his napkin and he makes a couple swiggles on the line, on the napkin. And he shows it to the waiter, and the waiter's like, "Man, that's amazing that you could draw that so quick." And he goes, $5. And the kid goes, $5, man? It only took you 5 minutes. And he goes, "No, it took me a lifetime."
Yeah. Right. Exactly. That's true. People don't think about that.
No, and like when you're like 80 years old, you'll get like 150 grand for one piece.
Yeah.
People
be like, "That's ridiculous."
Yeah.
Well,
Whatever,
I've been
man.
working for 40 years to get it.
Money's a fucking illusion, dude.
Fame is an illusion.
It is.
Yeah.
But what's not an illusion is the real long-term side effect of money. And that's the overwhelming desire of wanting shit it builds and puts on people.
It just erases your time away.
That's what crushes people. People go, "I wish I had more money. I wish I had more money." And I'm sitting there looking at them like, "What the hell do you need more money for?" Yeah. Like, what do you need more money for, dude? You got a house, you got a car, you got a kid. You don't need more freaking money. You don't need shit, dude. You got it all. You've already won the game, but they make you feel like you haven't even come close. And when you feel like you've won the game, right? I was talking to a person the other day who's like very successful. She's got a lot of her own clients. She does her own gig, and she's like, "I'm worried about retirement." I'm like, "Why are you worried about retirement? You're fucking killing right now."
People say that to me too, and I say, "Why would you ever retire?" And they're like, well, don't you want to just relax? I'm like, God, no, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not already doing what you love doing anyway, that you do for free, then you're doing it wrong. You got to change it up. Like,
Yeah, and if what you do love to do is something that you can't do, like, to pay the bills, like, I understand, like, it is, there's people out
there are
there.
ways of being adaptable, though, and using the same skills and having a purposeful life. You know, if what you love doing is, playing with a yo-yo,
Yeah.
then,
Build yo-yos.
I build yo-yos,
Buy
sell
yo-yos.
yo-yos, do yo-yo videos, do yo-yo shows, like, mix it up, man. You got to do all kinds of different things. If you're a sculptor and you can make a living selling sculptures, man, God bless you. I'd love to know what you're doing right that I'm doing wrong. But,
Well,
there's so many things that I do with my life that are so related to sculptures, building furniture, doing remodeling, building homes for the habitat. There's many ways to have a purposeful life. And if you're stuck in one of those jobs where you just don't see what the point is, my Lord, you better get out, because you only got, 130 years to live on this planet nowadays?
Hey, man, 20 years of schooling and they put you on the day shift. It's just,
Right.
Yeah, dude, it's like, it's all like, what the fuck, man? Just give up on wanting shit. It's all like, time is the most important thing. It's the most valuable thing that you get.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. If you can have $100 in the bank, but if you got, all the hours of the week except for 10 hours to make some money and pay the bills, the rest is for you, then you're way wealthier than any of the billionaires. Because them guys, when their time comes, they're going to look back on it and they're going to be like, I spent all my time hustling for a bunch of fucking snotty kids that don't give a fuck about me. They just care about their inheritance. Because I raised greedy little fucking
You think
sheep.
so? I think the
not all of them.
powerful people that die are probably still elated with themselves. It takes such a psychopathic mindset to become, a George Bush or something like that.
I think that the pyramid of people exists in all social structures, in all levels of our culture, from the poor to the rich
unpack
people.
that a little bit for me. The pyramid of people exists within all levels of people in our culture? What do you mean?
The pyramid of people exists at every financial level. What is
the pyramid of people?
The pyramid of people is like, you get the guy at the top of the pyramid who is the happiest he can possibly be, the wealthiest he can possibly be. He's figured out life, right? He's put together his own unique formula. He surrounded himself with the correct masterminds, and they were able to create something very big and powerful.
You're talking about like Bill Gates and people like that?
Or, yeah, but not even people of corporate, like Gandhi or,
Okay.
like of all levels,
Yes.
Leonardo da Vinci, guys like that. They're like the mecca of it. And then there's the people. There's the people who are the peasants who work in the fields and bathe once a week and live stacked on top of each other and just can't get out of the most miserable existence you can have in wherever it is you live for that area, right? It's different because. Like I always tell people when I'm having a bad day and they can tell, I just tell them I'm having white people problems, man, because they really ain't problems, But someone in Africa whose fucking little brother just got eaten by the local military, those are real problems, right?
Yeah.
But even in that culture exist people that are the super alphas and the people that are the super omegas, right? It's alpha and omega's kingdom come wherever you are. Like if you live in the hood, the guy that lives above you might also live in the hood, but he might be the biggest fucking crack dealer in the town and's got stacks of cash, right? But right below him is someone who can't even afford a potato.
I gotcha.
Right? They just exist everywhere. So life's what you make it. It's all about like what you learn, what you teach yourself, what music you listen to, what type of frequencies you you put your body out there too in terms of positive and negative relationships that they have with the body.
I gotcha.
It's
Yeah.
you can be the super alpha in small town New Hampshire if you want. Like you could literally dominate a town up here, and
Right.
it wouldn't be that difficult. Like you could just pick.
No, I can see that.
You could pick one industry and just say, I'm gonna fucking be the fucking baddest seamstress around. Right?
Yeah.
And chances are, if you wake up like Mike Tyson did and do your work while your opponents are sleeping, you're going to become that guy. So there's you never want to try to be somebody outside of what you are. Like if you're
Those people are always like bringing it back to your other point about how you say that, you know, when you're having a bad day, you just say you're having white people problems because it ultimately couldn't be that bad, right? Like the people that do not become that alpha state like you're talking about, or the people that can't see past the downsides of their situation are just tuned to negative, right? They're only focused on the things around them that are going wrong. Like, oh, my neighborhood is shitty. It's too loud. My place doesn't have heat.
it's so sticky. It's sticky, man.
Whereas the
Emotions
people that
are
will
sticky.
succeed and transcend that place are the ones that focus on what they do have
Yeah.
as assets and the positive sides of things and how they are going to be different than their surroundings.
Yeah.
What makes that person different? I don't know. I mean, like, is that a genetic thing? Is it just
Look,
one thing that
don't
happens
you
to a person
think?
when they're young?
Don't you think it's very easy to not do what the dumb person's doing, right?
Yeah, that's real easy.
Like when I see somebody do what the dumb person's doing, it's like, does that make you dumber than the dumb person?
It kind of does, right?
Right? It's like, yeah, don't bitch about where you are. You can't, man. You just can't do it. Like I realized quickly where I live that growing up, everyone was always like, you gotta go to college, you gotta get a really good job, you got to afford this, to afford what we have. And what I've discovered is that, you know, our parents had 4 kids, so they kind of had a reason to be broke. But, I mean, I would hear the same complaints out of our parents that I would hear out of my friends' parents who had 1 kid, right? And who had this, they had the same income, but they had more toys, right? And it's like, dude, you're doing what all the other dumb people are doing. You're all complaining about the same thing. You all have different money, different amount of children, different expenses, different savings, but you're all complaining about the same fucking shit, and you're all doing the same dumb mistakes. You're all buying the same dumb news, and you're just, you know, you're all standing in the same dumb line to be told what your freaking personality and belief should be. And I'm saying, get the fuck out of that line, right? Tip the pyramid upside down so you can spin it like a top and create
This is
gravity.
the same as Master Plan's antithesis.
Yeah, you can never follow the crowd, right? Like, I've been doing, because I work for myself, you know that, and I've been doing home inspections, right? And I have a friend who was like, oh, you know, like one of the largest home inspecting companies in New Hampshire is looking for some help. And I said, nah, man, honestly, it's the competition that makes me like want to do anything, you know?
Right.
It's bidding on stuff and competing against other people, because that's what the smart people are doing. They're controlling their time, they're controlling their schedule, they're controlling the people they work for, and they're controlling the people that they're around. So that's what you got to do. I mean, that's what I'm going to teach my kid. I'm like, look, man, you either do what the dumb people are doing, or you do what the people that are living the way you want to live are doing. It's that easy.
Take a look around, see what people are up to. Let me ask you a question, man. Since you've taken this mind state of, well, my problems are just white people problems, or I'm having a bad day just because of white people problems.
Yeah.
Since you've adopted that mind state, haven't you noticed that you have less bad days anyway?
Yeah, I don't really have, like, when I was younger, my bad days would be like, I'm broke, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough. But
Yeah.
my bad days now are more like I'm irritated. Like I get irritated with society sometimes, man. I was like,
Do you?
oh my god.
Maybe you watch too much news, man.
I don't watch any news.
I'm so blissfully unaware. I'm done.
Dude, today
I'm done with all the news.
Today, I show up to do an inspection of a brand new property, right?
Yeah.
Now, you would think brand new property must be a super easy inspection. Dude, what I've learned is that you should never be scared to become a builder because a lot of them are fucking hacks, dude. And a lot of people don't know anything about the structures that they live in. The biggest purchase of a person's life is their home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And most of them don't know jack shit about it. When something breaks, they call a professional. Like, have you ever heard people complain about something in their house not working like it's the end of the world? Right? Like,
Yes.
that's a state of mind I don't understand, right? Because I
Yeah,
know
my
even
pool pump broke.
the most complex system in a house is really just about 4 to 6 hours of work. And I'm not talking like roofs and shit. I'm talking like water and heating systems and hot water heaters and stuff like that. But then when you get into like the little stuff like roofings and flashings and how the electrical works and all that stuff, people don't know anything, man, and they get taken.
Well, I mean, it's complicated. I mean,
it's
you've
complicated
been in the
stuff,
for a long
right?
Time like I have, but it's like I don't know too much about electrical, and I've been making buildings for a long time.
It's complicated.
Things are specialized.
It's
now,
complicated
you know what I mean?
stuff, man, and that's what's cool is like I feel like I'm really helping people, right? Because I'm helping people that are like IT guys who know nothing about houses. I'm saving them from buying pieces of crap. Well, today,
that's great.
I found a bunch of stuff, dude, on this one house. It's a total hack job, man. I mean, like, for example, the sheathing for the siding ended above the sill line. And then the guy that put on the vinyl siding, instead of like hiding that major mistake, which I don't agree with anyways, or like fixing it, he vinyl sided to the end of the sheathing. So there's literally
Oh my God!
there's a section on the back of the house where the sill to the house is just sticking straight out. And
And this place got a final inspection from a building inspector?
yeah, don't get me going on them guys.
That's asinine.
Towns tend to hire building inspectors who have seniority rights, right? Like there's this who's got the biggest dick in the building trades thing that goes on, especially when it comes to like actual building new structures. It's a total like, oh, well, John's 60 years old and he's been in the business for 40 years. Well,
New
John's
Jersey,
been
it's
hacking
somebody's
houses.
Brother-in-law, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and John don't want to climb ladders and look at roofs no more, so he's becoming a fucking building inspector who doesn't give two shits. And that's the reality, right? Yeah, so there was so much stuff, right? So much freaking stuff. And so the builder shows up and starts yelling at the home buyer because the home inspection wasn't supposed to be today. And all this stuff's going to get fixed. And then his attitude was so negative that instantly the home buyer got negative and started yelling at him. And then the real estate agent got mad. When the real estate agent gets mad, she calls up the other real estate agent to say, hey, you know, this was supposed to go through. And the other real estate agent gets mad and starts yelling at her on the phone. And I sat back and watched how...
Wow, man, you should have recorded this. What a circus.
Oh, dude, right? And I'm just sitting there thinking like, dude, this builder is a liar. He's not...
Yeah.
What's he going to do? Rip off the vinyl siding and install sheathing before closing on Friday? Like,
No, he would have to strip it up to the window line,
yeah.
right?
No,
And
well,
4 feet above
vinyl
the sill.
vinyl siding, technically to do it right and not bend the shit out of your siding and mark it all up, you have to take off the corners, the corner pieces. So those are usually like 8 to 12 foot runs. So to do it correctly, you would want to take up to where one of those ended. And I'm sitting there thinking like, man, you're so full of shit. You're not going to fix that. You were going to try to get that over this kid's head.
Mm-hmm.
and you were gonna hope, or you know what they were probably honestly gonna do? It's right up against the house. I guarantee you by Friday there's 6 inches of loam, mulch, and plants put in the ground right next to that siding, and the siding's buried. I fucking guarantee it.
What he'll do is closed up inside. Are the walls inside closed up?
Oh yeah, you can see daylight in some spots where the foundation went from ground level, right? And then it jumps up about 5 feet, and that's the rest of your foundation.
Oh my God!
That whole line, you could see daylight, and dude.
They didn't even caulk it.
Dude, it's so bad. So, anyways, I don't really want to get into this type of stuff. So, I mean, my typical work day is like 5 hours when I do that shit. So it's like, and it's freaking good money, and I'm helping people, which is cool.
Yeah, that feels great, man.
And
I've been working for the Habitat for Humanity, building houses for underprivileged people. Like we're building we build houses for people that are refugees and have to escape political, asylum or religious, persecution and shit. It fucking feels awesome. It beats the hell out of working for. I used to work for commercial builders, man, and it just sucked because everything is like cheaper, faster. Do it cheaper and faster. Do it cheaper and faster.
Yeah.
And like you're ultimately I was handing over these $500,000 pool cabanas. That's what we were building to these assholes that didn't appreciate it and were just going to use it to do coke with their friends on the weekend anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, like, we're handing over houses to these families that are just so fucking grateful. And you get to work with the best people in the world. Like, you think about who donates their time to build a house for another person. They're all fucking sweethearts,
Yeah,
Fantastic.
hey, you want to hear something else pretty cool?
Yeah.
Is, like, synchronicity, right? It's fucked up how me and you both know each other, and randomly within, like, a year, we're both in kind of new industries, but both helping people get into quality structures.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like we're architects.
And we didn't even plan
in
that.
a symbolic sense.
Like that wasn't our plan, right? We just kind of.
No, whose plan was that?
I mean, we grew up around it, right? It was always around us. Dad was a builder. Grampy was a builder. All artists. And then we grew up and we just basically did it because me and you didn't want to go put on the suit and tie, right? We wanted to have...
That was never really an option for either one of us.
Nope. I was in the band, so it was perfect because I would do like the band basically full time, and then I would do like 1 or 2 gigs, right? And then when the band went all TMZ, I just said, fuck it, so I'm going to do it like 30 hours a week, which last year I take mini retirements. So I'm not doing the retirement at the end of your life thing. So last year I took off 6 months of work last year and had to answer to nobody, dude.
Right.
That's fucking awesome. And people are like, well, how can you afford it? Because you can afford stuff like that because when you decide to work for yourself and control your own schedule, you're no longer slave to this hourly rate thing. You can basically name your price.
Yeah.
So you just figure out your monthly expenses, how much income you need to have, and then that's it. I mean, that's the formula to do it.
Right. And I'm sure that you can always find ways of doing it cheaper, too, if you're resourceful.
Oh, dude.
Like, people buy furniture from, like, Sears or wherever the fuck.
And it sucks.
And like, hundreds of dollars for a fucking I see $500 coffee tables that are factory made at Sears and they're garbage.
Yeah, they're shit.
If you can swing a hammer and you can run a jigsaw, you can build yourself your own coffee table out of stuff that your neighbors will put in the garbage. I've done it 100 times.
Fuck yeah.
Yours aren't going to be as nice as the ones that I build, so you got to buy those at my website. But you can definitely do it yourself, and have a better table than you buy at Sears.
Yeah.
People spend so much money on shit they just don't need.
Yo, go to, all you listeners, go to deadpeasantradio.com and just go to the Adam Capone link. You can't miss it, up in the right corner. And you can see what he's talking about, man. Yeah, it's
You know what I was just thinking about? You were talking about retirement.
What?
And like, with what I do, I love what I do so much that retirement for me just means that I just start doing it for free.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, Busy Bone, I got some news, man. So, me and Bionic from Sons of Kal-El are gonna get together every Saturday.
Bionic, nice.
Yep. We're gonna
Please
start.
tell me you're gonna make some music.
We're gonna start making music again. Well, I told you, man, I was taking 2 years off of any outside influence. I haven't listened to music. I haven't.
What?
Yeah,
You never told me this.
yeah, I did. We talked about it on a podcast. I told you I needed to get a clean mind. I needed to start fresh. I was too programmed by.
You took 2 years off of listening to music?
Dude, you know how I knew
Very difficult.
I knew I was ready because I was at my buddy's the other day, and someone goes, "You heard this King Kunta song?" And I'm like, "King Kunta?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Kendrick Lamar? You heard of Kendrick Lamar?" I'm like, "Nope, never heard of Kendrick Lamar, right?"
I've heard the name Kendrick Lamar. I have no idea what his music is.
So you knew more than me. And then I went online and I researched this guy, and he works with Dr. Dre and stuff, and I'm like, man, I got so out of the loop that I didn't even know who this dude was. And I was
That's
like,
great.
that means my freaking art book, my palette is like empty, right?
Mhm.
So I called up Bionic and I was like, listen, kid, let's do this.
Nice.
Yep.
What was his reaction?
Oh, he's pumped.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be
So-
good, man. Sons of Kal-El, man. We're just going to name it Sons of Kal-El, too. I don't know where the other guys are. We're they're a wild bunch, man. It would be like putting together. Have you ever seen that movie of the kids that play baseball and the coach is an alcoholic? It's a really old one, Bad News Bears.
Oh, yeah, the Bad News Bears.
Yeah, that's what.
Getting them together.
That should have been our name. That should have been our name, man. Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
I need to do
a
it.
bunch of characters for sure.
I'm at a spot, dude, where I was making a lot of music when I was renting a house and when I was single. Cause like we talked about earlier, I don't really worry about retirement. And to me, it's more about like monthly expenses minus monthly income, influenced by what you want to do. Can you afford it? Right? That's what's important. So I was like making music most of the time, working part-time. But then it got to the point where I was like just really unimpressed with the culture and where the culture was going lyrically and where even the music was going, and like the platforms that we wanted to be on for so many years had become so like polluted with toxic music. I was just like disgusted with it, and I was at a point in the life where I needed to get into a structure of my own, and
I hear you.
kind of build solid roots. So what I did was I kind of cut off music and I went fucking crazy working, saved up some cash, got some clients, did the whole thing, and now
You did a lot more than that. You got a house. You got
Yeah.
a baby.
baby, dude, like I did it, but now I got like the balance, right? Where I don't need to be that fucking grinding earner. It's time to freaking start making some damn music again.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I just got so fired up hearing you say that.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
excited. And I think that you and Bionic getting together is fantastic. I think that so much has changed in probably both of your lives, and it just being the two of you. I think it will be very different from Sons of Kal-El, but I think it will still probably have that fucking musical fucking.
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't know, I'm not a musical. What's the word I'm looking for? Those beats were fucking sick. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And hearing what you guys do with that shit now is gonna be. I can't wait. As a fan, I can't wait.
Yeah, well, we're gonna play instruments too, and we're talking about doing a bunch of Johnny Cash covers, and
No shit.
yeah, and Bionic starts sending me these ideas, and I was like, listen, man, I only know how to make one style of music, and that's
That's
fucking.
bullshit.
No, I said no. I said maybe not one style of music. That's definitely bullshit, but one what's the word I'm looking for? You know, like all the stuff I write has that like fist pump, get amped up. Like I believe music should be used as
What about like that stuff that you were jamming on my porch with the
the super country stuff? I'm fresh out of prison. Yeah. So,
I don't want to sing your hook because I don't want to give it away. But there was one song that you were playing back
yeah,
then.
they go, I might smoke, I might drink, might have me a little fun. I don't care what you say about me, I'ma do it until I'm done. Hater, I get mine.
Hater, I get mine.
Hater, I
Man,
get
I've had that
mine.
song stuck in my head since then. I hope you guys do something with that.
Yeah, well, that's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna bring in the instruments, all acoustic, so it's just gonna be the two of us.
Fucking great.
And we're
I
just
can't
gonna
wait to hear
see
it.
where it goes.
Will you debut it exclusively on Dead Peasant Radio?
Yeah, probably only on Dead Peasant Radio. It's gonna be a while though, cause you know me, I won't release anything until it's.
Yeah, I know. You're a perfect perfectionist.
Yeah, I believe I have the ear for it. But I was like, Bionic, man. I only make music that gets people raging. No emo shit. Sorry. Music should not be used to make people depressed, sad, and slow. It should be used to make people fucking want to rise up, speed up.
That's what you mean.
Yeah.
You need a rising sound. Yeah, that's what you meant.
Yep,
That's
the
not
rise.
one style. That's one, like,
Grind, yeah.
one energy type, I guess.
Yeah, like
That's
I
a
want,
bigger picture.
I want like people to basically. What sucks is when you play live and it's like fucking a dead corpse, dude. You know, I've done those shows where it's just like,
Wait, have you fucked a dead corpse?
well, as a metaphor, as a bad show, yes, I have.
That is what it's like, isn't it?
We did a couple shows where it was just like the wrong crowd, the wrong time slot, you know, and it was no one's
It's
real.
like when a comedian bombs on stage.
Yeah.
Joe Hogan says it's like sucking 1,000 dicks in front of your mother.
Dude, it's so shitty, dude. It's so shitty. It really is. We did a New Year's Eve night show on TV, and there was probably 4 people at the midnight party. There was a table full of fucking pizzas that were ice cold because not enough people showed up to eat them. An Aerosmith cover band comes on stage before us in full Aerosmith costumes and fucking shredded the room, dude, but no one participated. It was like the weirdest thing. There's just camera guys everywhere and there's like no one's in front of the stage. They get off and then they put us up there, a 5-piece hip hop group with no instruments, just a turntable.
Who booked this show?
I did. So, dude, I figured, I was like, listen, man, New Year's Eve night on TV, it's one of the guys was from the local FM radio, like the Big Dog FM radio show who was hosting it. I was like, we can't turn this down because those were the days when like FM radio was everything. If you could get played on the, Thursday locals slot, you were fucking the shit. So we showed up, we do this show, and we go up there, and our music was all about basically taking a drunk room and seeing if we could get them to shake or jump in unison to cymatically destroy. I want to cymatically destroy the building I'm in and just crumble it to pieces, right?
Yeah.
So when no one's participating, it's like rehearsal, right? At rehearsal, we would just sit in the fucking recliner chairs and play the song on a stereo and just rap it. But it doesn't have that same. You can only really get the feeling of the music if you're alone in your car, have headphones on, or you're at the show and there's like 60 people with you in front of the stage, just all going at it, right?
Yeah.
And this show is like crickets, dude. The camera guys walking around.
Oh,
dude, so I decided about a quarter way through the show. I wish I had it. I fucking just like went home that night, never watched it, just basically was like that never happened. About 2 songs into the show, I basically was like, you know what? I'm not going to look like I'm bombing, right? So I literally just stood in one spot, looked at the wall in front of me, held the mic, and just rapped like I was like rapping in my living room.
Oh, that's true.
On TV. And then I look over and Big Worm is sitting on the monitor with the mic. Just when it's not his part, he's just like banging his head back and forth. And it was like, we did like the most perfect performance because it was literally like a rehearsal. But it was fucking like dead, dude. It was the worst feeling in the world.
I really would love to see that video.
So the next day we
should put that on our website.
Oh, it was so bad. The next day we went to, we all woke up hungover, as you can imagine. And we went and got pizza, and some kid that saw it was like, Capone, you looked so miserable. Like, you wanted to rip the fucking TV to pieces. I was like, oh, it was the worst event ever, dude.
Oh, that's brutal, man.
And the funniest thing about it, right, is there was this other kid that played with us. And he wanted a headline. He wanted to go on after us. And we were like, no, we're going on, you know. And he went on before us and only did 2 songs. So we could have had the chance to just do 2 songs. And I walked off stage, and he came up to me, and he's like, dude, I'm so fucking glad I didn't headline. It's like, yeah, that's what I get.
Oh, you shit in your own hat, buddy.
Oh, man, it happens. But I'm excited to, I think our new goal is, like, we're going to basically try to do, so back to the whole doing what you love for a living thing. Now that I have a balance, dude, I was talking to Bionic. I'm like, dude, all I really need to make a week to like pay bills and live comfortably is like $700 to $1,000. If we can do like 2 shows a month of original stuff, and if we can do like 3 shows a week doing covers at like your art show, I don't know, like wine tastings or just, you know, little like events where you go and there's just like a cover band playing acoustic guitars for an hour and a half, then technically we can make music for a living. It's like people do it. I worked in the studio. I met guys that were 40 years old and doing it, like just out playing covers and,
of course.
You know? So it's, that's the overall goal for me, is to try to literally do like only maybe like 10 hours a week of stuff that has anything to do with structure science, and the rest will be back in the music.
Tremendous.
Plus, I mean, if you can become like a nasty little cover duo band, that's the easiest retirement for some 80-year-old dudes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Shit, yeah, man. You set your amp up at John and Peter's and you wail out an hour of music on a Sunday?
Yeah, that's retirement.
Fuck yeah.
So let's start it early.
Fantastic, man. I'm so pumped to hear what you guys come up with. I still play fucking We Don't Have a Plan B.
Yeah.
I still play that in my truck every day. That shit wakes me up like a cup of coffee in the morning.
Maybe that's what we should call our next project, Sons of Kal-El, Plan B.
Not bad. That works.
But you can listen to Sons of Kal-El. Oh, no, you can't. It's not on Dead Peasant Radio. But you can go to deadpeasantradio.com and you can listen to the Don't Be Sheep album that I put out as an older man after Sons of Kal-El, which, if you ask me, has the best shit, the best verses I think I've ever written.
That's, definitely the best stuff that you've ever done, like, as an individual.
Yeah. I'm not you know the song Everyday People?
Uh-huh.
I'm not a big fan of the instrumental because it was just this, 4-bar loop that someone gave me, so I couldn't, do beat drops and stuff, but I wrote that song in, a day and just spit it, and I was like, fuck it, I'll release it. I love the words, though, man. Love it, dude.
What's the song? My favorite is, I don't know the names of the songs, because I just have, an old school, bootleg blank disc that you wrote SOK with a Sharpie on. That's how I own that album.
Nice, kid.
Even though I did the album art, never got a copy of it. I got the underground shit, but
It's all underground.
My favorite one, the beat and the lyrics, is which the one where you go, celebrate you're still alive.
Stuff your face with pumpkin pie. Learn to look in people's eyes. Recognize it full of lies. And just stop being stupid folk. Making life difficult. Everything should get a vote. From skipping rope to smoking dope. Yeah, that's getting shot feels strange.
Nice. That's my favorite verse right there.
Yeah,
Everything
dude.
should get a vote from skipping rope to smoking dope.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, see, that's where I kind of had if you listen to like the Sons of Kal-El and then you listen to that album, you can definitely tell there was a major mental cleansing in terms of like what type of cultural things I participated in.
Definitely.
Yeah, and that's why it's like now, I always like, even when I was young, we would always freestyle, which I was all right at, but I was never, dude, there's kids out there that literally just freestyle every day, right? They're like
I've heard really, really good guys on the internet. Yeah, you always struck me as really good. I mean, I can't imagine how anybody does it. So to me, it's impressive when anybody can.
Yeah, that's what I try.
Carry a
Like,
spoon in a bucket, and if you can rap something off the top of your head that makes sense, I don't even understand how that works. I can barely talk on this podcast.
yeah, me too, dude. I listen to our podcast sometimes, and I'm like, I should take some Alpha Brain or something.
I took 2 Alpha Brain before this one.
Oh, Jesus, it is not working. No, you're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good.
What's difficult for me is just the phone situation, because I think I'm half deaf from running saws most of my life anyway.
Yeah.
So I have difficulty hearing you sometimes, and I feel like I might maybe talk over you sometimes because I don't hear you.
No, it sounds good, man, because I mix it, so you don't need to worry about any of that.
All right, cool. Just mix it.
What the hell were we talking about, though, dude?
We were talking about your music, and I was just talking about how Getting Shot Feels Strange is, like, probably my favorite song of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I've never done that song live, so I'm very interested. I'm more interested in doing, like, the acoustic guitar stuff live and playing instruments live.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I found myself in the right situation to do a hip-hop show, but that song would probably kill it live.
Well, I have you exclusively booked for my art show, which will be at some venue in New Hope, PA, next spring.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be more excited about that, because that's my whole thing about art shows. Like, people, like, I invite, even my friends, some of my friends didn't even show up to this show. And I'm not going to call them out, but, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, I understand why. Like, somebody invites you to an art opening, and if you haven't been to one, or if you haven't been to one of mine, then you picture, like, a quiet space, and everyone's dressed up and eating little cubes of cheese, and there's some fucking abstract thing on the wall that doesn't make any sense to you, you know? And there's usually classical music in the background. But that's not what I try to do at all. Like, my whole thing is to make a spectacle out of it. Like, the work is the work, and it's there, and some people are going to look at it, and some people aren't. But I just want to get asses in seats. Like, I like it when there's too many people at the openings, and everyone's too drunk, and the music is too loud, and it becomes one of these things where, like, hey, I went to M.C.Capone's art show. How was the work? I don't know, but I'm going to go to the next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, well, let's put it on like an event.
Yeah, we will. We will. When I have, and being able to say that M.C.Capone will be there kicking out the jams is going to make it so much easier for me to get people there. I'm so excited about it that it's actually motivated me to even start doing new sculptures for the show already.
Yeah, man. Well, I got to get working on it, because I'm planning on bringing down Bionic and doing some like acoustic stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We're going to do it in a warm month, so the pool will be open, and we'll smoke a couple of buffalo steaks or something.
Yeah. Man, we wicked made this podcast about us, which I love.
Did we? I thought we were talking about Jim Brantley and fucking John Jones, and we talked about corporate greed and control structures and being a good builder of structures.
That's true, man.
I don't think it was too much about us. We talked about my art and your sculpture, but shit, that's what we do. Joe
Yeah.
Rogan talks about his comedy. Brian Redband talks about throwing jizz on hookers.
I don't listen to Red Bands. I've never listened to it.
He's a madman. He's a dirty, filthy savage. He's hilarious.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Hey, have you
I
seen
digest.
Interstellar, bro?
Interstellar. Our boy Matt McConaughey just is slaying it left and right. But that movie was pretty fucking amazing, right?
That movie was all about an old Gnostic creation story that was held out of the Bible.
Yeah. It definitely follows the model of a lot of mystery schools about transcendent thinking and about transcending time and experiencing it from sort of a fifth dimensional level.
Do you know about the Sofia
really,
myth?
Capture it visually in an amazing way.
It was insane, dude. It was so fucking good. Do you know the Sofia myth?
Mm-hmm.
So
I do.
okay.
But are you gonna shit?
What?
You can't explain that.
No, well,
Here, now.
here's how I can explain it, right? I can explain it like this. All right, thousands of years before the people that created the freaking Bible, there was civilizations on Earth. And these people had their own creation stories that were far different than the ones that we were grown up around and taught. They believed that in the center of the black hole, in the middle of the Milky Way galaxy, exist beings. And that these beings experience the world, the galaxies, the planets, the universe, their surrounding as it is, by basically existing in human bodies and human minds and consciousness. And Sophia was one of the gods who accidentally got somehow transported and trapped in Earth. She became Mother Earth. So Sophia is Mother Earth, and humans are the creation of her friend beings in the center of the galaxy that experience our reality through our bodies through consciousness, or it's something crazy like that. It's really wild.
Yeah.
But what's impressive about it is, how did these people, who were supposedly cavemen, hunter and gatherers, how did they know that at the center of the galaxy was a gigantic black mass that seemed to consume shit?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of questions about how did people of the past know such things about the cosmology.
Yeah.
Or is it cosmonomy?
And
I think it's cosmonomy.
that was the whole point of Interstellar, was, something created this wormhole for them to go through. And when they go through it, they automatically assume that, they must be wanting to show us another planet. But because we were blind, they didn't realize that, no, they were just showing you that you needed to go into this black hole.
What?
And that the answer is in the black hole. He goes into the black hole and he figures out a way to communicate.
I have to pull up some. I gotta do some more research. We're gonna talk more about the Sophia myth, because I actually took a class at UMass Boston when I was in college.
Yeah.
I took an extra night class because I'm an idiot. Called Gnosticism and World Religions.
Okay.
And I forget.
Do you have
forget
that
most
book?
of it. I gotta find it.
Oh.
But I took the class with the guy that wrote the book, and he explained the whole Gnostic myth and the whole Sophia myth, and I think you're relatively close on most of what you said. And there's a higher god. So the Sophia and there was the male counterpart whose name slips my mind are these energies that circle around this black hole at the center of our universe. They don't deal with the rest of the universe like the Gnostic God doesn't.
No, it's
purport to be
galaxy,
the only
right?
God I created this, galaxy.
Yeah.
So, but there's no he. There's these two beings that circle the center, and at the center is the one sort of overpowering God. And the only thing I believe, if I'm correct, the Gnostics ever wrote about that God was its name, and its name was incorruptibility.
Yes.
How fucking dope is that?
Yeah.
So it's all sort of tied to the self in a way. Like at the center, if you're at your very core, if you are incorruptible, then you are everything, right?
Everything. Yeah. That's kind of right on my like theory of what people should live by, like a motto people should live by, is like just individualism is the most important thing. No religions.
The problem is that they're psychopaths, Mike. And
Yeah.
like if you're you or I, and you're essentially a good person, and what you want to do is create things and help people, then that's great. But not a lot of people are that way. And I'm not saying this like of the people around me, like the guy downtown. Like, I don't believe that you should fear people like that. I'm talking about like the psychopaths that run our world, you know?
Man, the psychopaths that run our world are seriously fucking it up.
Yeah, and you got to keep some of them in check by giving them religions, don't you? I mean, isn't that what keeps a lot of bad men from going out on their own and killing people, is that they focus their energy on some stupid god that some guy made up?
If I was your president, I would answer that question like this. It is important that the older, corrupted, non-salvageable human beings have religion. But it is important that the children and the babies are taught individuality and a concept of border-free life. Bam. It's all about the kids. Cap loves the kids, man. Cap love the kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Cause that's what it is, man. It's you only know about Jesus Christ because you were taught it as a kid, you damn fool. If someone told you that Gumby was fucking God when you were a kid, the same way you were taught about God and Jesus Christ as a kid, you would believe that Gumby was God. There's no scientific proof for anything that any of those people are preaching.
Yeah.
None.
Well, that's why you have to have faith. That's their whole message.
Yep.
Listen, that's the whole gimmick, right? That's the whole gimmick of religion, is that at their core, all of them are just asking you to have faith. If they were honest up front and said, look, what we're about to tell you, you're not going to believe, but you just have to have faith that it's true, nobody would listen. But they don't do that. You know? They say, this is how it is. This is how it is, over and over and over. And sometimes they nail people to crosses, you know?
It makes me sick, dude. It makes me sick.
They break people down, and they've done it for 2,000 years, and the shit works.
Kid, other than the fact that I am retarded tonight, I can't even talk, dude. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I don't know. You were doing fine until those last 2 sentences.
No, I feel very slow tonight. So I had a really busy week, but we're gonna start podcasting every single Thursday night. So,
all right.
Because
it
needs
an
to.
hour and a half, my man.
It needs to be consistent, you know. But
absolutely, I agree.
Back to that subject. What I was getting at is I wanted to tell people they need to read this book, "Outwitting the Devil" by Napoleon Hill. It is incredible, dude. It was written like 60 freaking years ago. I keep saying frickin' too, which I never say. 60 fucking years ago.
You always say that.
Do I? I gotta cut that word out. It's so Canadian. I picked that up on my Canadian strip club missions. Yeah.
Wait, what was the name of that book? Within?
No, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill.
Outwitting. Okay.
So this guy used to go on mind experiments, much like Albert Einstein's thought experiments. And the story is he like locked himself up somewhere with nothing but a typewriter and claimed that through deep meditations he was able to have direct contacts with Satan.
Yeah.
And he asked.
Don't tell me too much. Don't spoiler me here,
Okay.
because I'm actually I'm buying it on Amazon.
No. Get the audio book, because the audio.
Yeah, I'm way ahead of you. The
Right.
MP3 CD.
Yeah, the audio book is fantastic. It's some guy like Earl Jones, James Earl Jones, does Satan's voice.
No shit.
Yeah, so here's what happened, right? He was a famous author. He dedicated his life to figuring out what makes the successful, powerful people in America successful and powerful. And he wrote this book, and he was already a very successful author, and his wife made him lock the book up in a safe because she was afraid that if he released it, that people would think he was like a like Satanist or something, and it would ruin his career. And it's the whole book is the devil basically going, yeah, this is how I tricked you. This is how I create society to get you to follow me when you think you're following God.
All right, I don't want to know anymore. I feel like you're gonna kill it for me.
Oh, dude, I gotta listen to it again tomorrow. I've listened to it probably 6 times. It's that good.
Sweet. I should get it in 4 to 8 business days, apparently.
Yeah, dude.
I got the MP3 CD. Does that mean I guess I gotta listen to it on my computer? Sorry. Fantastic.
Yeah, no, man, you got to get that, and you got to listen to it while you're working, dude.
That's what I do all day, basically, is listen to podcasts, unless I'm on the Habitat Build site.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But all right, man. Hey, so next Thursday we got to talk more about the Gnostic creation story, because I learned.
I'm gonna dig up my old papers from college and read more about that.
Oh yeah, and I want to touch base on one other thing. So I've been having like freaking wicked. Fuck, I said it again. Freaking, dude. You know what? I'm gonna put like a jar and.
Freaking doesn't matter. It
freaking don't matter. Yeah, dude. So what was I talking about? See, man, I got all baked now. Now I'm acting like a potato.
I don't know, man. I forget what you're talking about too.
Oh, I want to rewind it. Damn.
Hey, just wrap it up there and listen to it, and
No,
then bring it up next Thursday.
No, I'm not. We're not stopping until I get it back.
Oh no.
We could be here for days.
Oh, our poor listeners.
No, wait. I'm gonna create deja vu. So next week, man, we're gonna talk about the Gnostic creation story, man.
Yeah.
Because I learned a little bit about that the other day, and it was fascinating stuff. Oh, and by going back in time and creating my own deja vu, I was able to remember what I wanted to talk about.
Drop it.
So I've been having bad lower back pains, right? And
oh no.
Yeah, like sucks, dude. I fucked my back up a few years ago moving a wood stove like a retard, and it's just been getting worse and worse.
You can't say that anymore, man. It's retarded American. Oh,
yeah, because I forgot there's a no-no dictionary now, too.
Mm-hmm.
So give up your phones, N-words. So I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast, and he had on this crazy hippie chick who got rid of her couch and bed, and she was explaining how our human meat suit is designed to lay on hard, flat ground.
I missed this one.
Yes, very good. You should go back and find it. It was a few months ago. And so the other night I was like, dude, what's weird is I'm super flexible, dude. I can bend over and touch the back of my heels, right?
That's hot.
So it's not a flexible issue with my back. I can't figure it out. So I started sleeping on the floor, and it's been 3 days, and today I had no back pain, the first time in about 3 months.
No shit.
So I'm going to sleep on the floor again, and if it works, dude, I'm just going to keep fucking sleeping on the floor. My fiance thinks I'm nuts, but I'm like, it's working.
How to get the floor on top of your bed.
Dude, I think she's on to something, and the first night I slept on the floor, for the first hour, my lower back killed me. I literally felt like my back was like slowly forming back into place. You know what I'm saying? Like I could.
Something that helps me, man, is I have my wife walk on my back.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. Danny Pants, one strong broad, dude.
Well, you just have her like walk, like lie down on the floor next to a table so she can put her hands on the table.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she could slip up and paralyze you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, dude, I have my wife walk on my back, and you can hear my spine, like, crack and pop, and it goes right back into place, and my my arms feel looser, my back feels looser.
Wow, dude, that sounds really dangerous.
Nah, man, it's the most natural thing. It feels fucking great.
All
You'll
right.
see. Next time I see you, I'm gonna throw you on the floor and stomp all over your back.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
All right, dude. Next Thursday.
All right, next Thursday. I'll see you
it
then. And everyone, go visit deadpeasantradio.com. Follow us
Play us
on
out with some music.
Twitter. What?
Play us out with some music.
All right. We're out.
This is your life. Your life. Your life.
I rock the house with the greatest of these, with the greatest of these. Bound to wreck your body and knock you to your knees.
Far more intelligent than man himself.
Yeah, I like rockets on the daily. I'm educated barely. I never really keep breathing, but that's life. You gotta feel me, cause I'm taking what's mine. Still ignoring the time. Today is now, and now that's all on my mind. So keep planning for your future like you know that it's there. Better yet, just take a breath and throw your cups in the air. Celebrate you're still alive. Stuff your face with pumpkin pie. Learn to look in people's eyes, recognize it full of lies, and just stop being stupid, folk. Making life difficult. Everything should get a vote, from skipping rope to smoking dope. Clear your throat, crack a joke. Learn to catch the baker's note. If you don't, you can choke. Suicide, pistol smoke. That's life. Some people call it quits. Fall in love with shady chicks. Too addicted to their glitz. Too addicted to the pits. Too addicted to their youth. Keep sleeping off the truth instead of building some roots. Let's talk about it, y'all.
I rock the house with the greatest of these, with the greatest of these. Bound to wreck your body and knock. Bound to wreck your body and knock you to your knees.
Absolute perfection.
With the greatest of these, with the greatest of these. Bound to wreck your body and knock you to your knees.
Far more intelligent than man himself.
Yeah, if it's money, gotta grab it. If it's food, gotta grasp it. Keep a roof over my mattress. I don't need your fancy gadgets, but I'll carpet if the shoe fits. Buy it up, pawn it down. Biodegradable, people dating inflatables now. Messed up, but expect what? Seriously, I rebut. Somewhat, everybody's acting smut. We all obscene, like the balance beam. We separating teams, scheming money to extremes. And I'ma take it how you can't take it. Just be a man. So what's your business plan? Who gives a damn about your grams? This is big style grown up. The king done showed up. Society is mine and I'ma shine until it blow up. So know what? Nothing. Keep doing your thing. It's full swing. Come around and throw it down in the ring. Cause this illuminating movement is a sign of the times. The blindfolded's still in line, so it's a sign to redesign. Let's talk about it, y'all. But I don't need to know your name. I equally take aim. It's our culture that I blame. For the lazy and the weak. For the stupid and the meek. For the selfish and the creeps. For our leaders, our elites who only care about receipts and they corporate friends. They hog the odds and ends for the society that spends. That's why I do my thing and never do what they preach. I'm just living to get by upon my freedom of speech. Let's talk about it. Yeah, damn, I'm feeling good. Feel I'm living like I should. But I'm still misunderstood from these woods to city hoods. Cause it's a mental game. They said they saw me if I sing some pain. A love song, some strong wrongs to entertain. It's inhumane, they're selling to kids. Who can we blame? It's a shame. All the same how we sing. We're all the same through the skin. We're all the same cause we're sheep. We're incomplete, prey to lies. While they disguise, they balance sheets. And they take more, slay more. Here to force in civil war. I ain't gonna rap that bullshit that they signing for. Underscore your own raps. Groupie crabs got clapped. Yeah, you can take them back. Give me stacks of money packs, and then we'll talk business as we walk. You should buy my common stock, cause I'll be buying up your blocks. It's dream big and blow up. Music's just a hobby. I'm fast like Ricky Bobby, putting money through the laundry. Talk about it, y'all.
I rock the house with the greatest of these, with the greatest of these. Bound to wreck your body and knock. Bound to wreck your body and knock you to your knees.
Absolute perfection.
With the greatest of these, with the greatest of these. Bound to wreck your body and knock you to your knees.
Far more intelligent than man himself.
You have become a living example of slow motion.